Right. So what's your name?
Theresa.
Theresa. And you've got issue all around here
All around, all of the
and all around your back as well. And how long's it been like that?
But this one's been here about 4 months, but I've had it all over my body for 12 months.
All right, okay. Now,
Neurotic nerve. It's caused through stress, as one doctor say.
right. So that's the thing I have to do. I always have to check somebody's seen a doctor. So you've seen a doctor and they've given you a diagnosis, but they've not fixed it. Is that right?
No,
So
just
you-
small
He said he
tablets
can't.
Right. So you're seeing me to see if I can fix it, if the surgeons can fix it.
after.
Right. So remember, it's not me, guys. I'm a bank manager. My degrees are in banking and marketing, and I've got a business studies diploma that I worked really hard to pass with distinction. If I'd known I'd be doing this, I wouldn't have wasted my time, eh? They were all boring subjects. This is much more fun. Right, so we've got two things. We've got to take away the pain, but we've also got to address the underlying issue, which the surgeon is telling me is not being correctly diagnosed. But who am I to say that? But that's what he's saying, but that's what he's going to fix. All right, so as much as possible, just put both feet on the floor, close your eyes, and just let yourself relax a bit, all right? Cool. Now, as I do this healing, the surgeon's going to talk to us all about the need to relax. Okay, it's not so long ago that on a Sunday, that was your Sabbath day and that was your day of rest. What's happened? It's now a day of shopping, isn't it? Yeah. So you need a day of rest. You need to get into the habit of being able to switch off and do nothing without feeling guilty. If you haven't got that, please invest some time now in developing that skill, that ability to switch off. You know, to leave. If you need to write yourself a list of all the things you've still got to do, put it one side and take some time without your mind constantly churning. If your mind constantly churns, you will burn out your body. You'll burn it out, yeah? It's like running electricity through a light bulb 24/7. That bulb is not going to last as long, is it? Yeah, we've got to be able to switch off. Got to be able to switch off. You need to be able to switch off at least once a week. You need to be able to switch off in your day. If something stressful has happened, you need to be able to walk away from it and it not affect you. He's talking about me now. He says, I've had to learn this big time. If I've got somebody being negative towards me, I have to deal with that, deal with my emotions in response to that, and then do a show. Yeah? And it actually helps being in front of an audience, guys. I know I've got to help you, and so my whole attention comes to you, and I let go of that stress and that worry. Yeah? And so the same kind of thing can work for you guys. Find somewhere that you can be of service. Find some need within your family or your community that is more important to you than those things you're worrying about. And throw yourself into being of service for others and let go of those worries. Yeah? Makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah? Now, going to sleep at night. Some of you have problems going to sleep at night. There are some very physiological, obvious things that need to be addressed. If we look at the lights in this room, these lights all produce white or blue light. White or blue light destroys melatonin in your bodies. You'll need melatonin in your bodies to be able to sleep. It's not so long ago you had incandescent light bulbs that gave out a soft yellow glow. Go buy those and replace your bulbs. Or at least replace the bulb in the bedroom. Or have a lamp that you can put on after 7 o'clock so that you're not affected by the white light. Now, you guys can fall asleep in front of a fire. No problem, can you? You can fall asleep in front of the telly. Have you ever fallen asleep in front of the computer? No, and you never will, because it's a white-blue light. Yeah? People playing on their phones, children, and they can't sleep. It's a white-blue light. Yeah? Now to get yourselves to sleep, very simple. All you've got to do is not be in here. There's a couple of ways you can do it. One is to take your awareness into your nose, noticing the air coming in, noticing the air going out. Or you can drop your awareness down into the belly. Just keep your awareness in the belly, you'll go to sleep. Stress is caused by anything that isn't how you want it to be. So if you want to be stress-free, love what it is. Whatever's happening in your life, love it. You're not stuck with it. If you've got a heap of bills that you can't afford to pay, love those bills because you've had value for whatever those bills were for. Love the banks that lent you the money. And especially love your credit card companies that allowed you to purchase things before you could afford them. And then decide what action you're going to take to deal with the situation so that you're not in the same position a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. If there's something in your life you don't like and you resist it, oh, I don't want to have credit card debt, that resistance will keep it there. All your energy will be, I don't want this to happen, and no action's going into dealing with it. So you love them, you give thanks for them, you give thanks for the lesson that they've been, and then you take action. All your thoughts, all of your energy are rippling out into the reality and drawing to you similar situations. So if you are running financial worry energy, you're going to bring to you more financial worries. If you are running abusive relationship energy, you're going to draw more abusive relationships. Love what is, and then put your energy into changing what is. Now, can we get the air conditioning cooler or a door open? Don't mind which. I'm starting to cook at the front. You guys getting a bit warm as well? Yeah? So you're made of energy, you're a chemical factory, and the chemicals that you're flowing are rippling out and drawing to you more of the same. So the best thing you can do is change the chemicals by loving what is. Whatever's showing up in your life, be grateful for it. It's a manifestation of what's happened in the past. Then you can change it. All of you have amazing abilities. All of you have an amazing team of guides that are here to work with you. But they're sort of waiting on you. While ever they think you are happy with your life as it is, they won't interfere. But as soon as you let them know, look, I'm ready to give more, be more, achieve more, share more, whatever. Don't focus on what you want out of life. Focus on what you're going to give. That's true in relationships, it's true in your careers. Focus on what more you want to give. Take time each day to connect with who you are as an energy. Connect with your core. And make a commitment to bring through more of who you are. You won't know yet where you're going. You won't know yet all about what you're here to do, but you'll start feeling a lot happier, a lot more content. And you'll start drawing to you the people, the situations, the opportunities that match who you are at your core. Now, everybody that attends this event receives healing at some level. Not everybody comes to the front, but everybody is being worked on. So just let yourselves think for a moment, what is it you need healing for? And just make a request. please, can I have healing for? And so just silently in your heart, just ask for whatever it is you need healing for. It can be physical, mental, emotional, it can be financial, it can be relationships, it can be career. Whatever dimension of your life you need help for, clarity. God bless. Now this is the thing that we've forgotten. We are not separate. Our bodies are separate. If I stick a pin in my arm, it hurts me, not you. You might wince when you see me do it, but it won't hurt you. Vice versa. If you stick a pin in your arm, I might wince, but it won't hurt me like it will hurt you. So our bodies are separate, but we can feel how other people feel. We see it with young children in the kindergarten. One child cries and 5 others start crying. Yeah, we can feel how other people feel. People will tell us I'm fine and you know they're not, especially mothers. Mothers are really good at saying, yes, I'm fine, and we know they're not. God bless. And the problem we have with those politicians is finding one we can trust. It's a hard choice at the moment, isn't it, guys? If I was here, I'm not voting in any elections here, but I'd really struggle to know which one I could trust. But that's what you're looking for. You're looking for somebody you can trust. I like what the Iroquois tribe did. So in America, the American Senate system is based on what the Iroquois tribe did. So years ago, when America was established, the founding fathers were trying to get themselves free of England's rule. They wanted their own money supply, because whoever controls the money controls the world. Yeah, your government don't control the money. So that's, as America started, they tried to get themselves free of the people that control the money, and they modelled their parliament on the Iroquois tribe, but they missed an important key ingredient out. The Iroquois tribe have 2 senates. One is the elected representatives, just like in America, and then the higher senate was a senate of grandmothers. Now, wouldn't that be wise? Wouldn't that be wise to have a second house? Like your House of Lords is all the people with the money that want to hold on to the money. But instead of the House of Lords, wouldn't it be nice if we had a House of Grandmothers? Because the grandmothers wouldn't spend money they hadn't got, and they'd make sure those people most in need in society were looked after. Now, what's happening for you in terms of what you can feel, what sensations?
It's just twitching, like.
Twitching, yeah.
It's sad to hear that.
Yeah.
Not as bad when I press on it.
It's not as bad.
No.
Really?
It's good, isn't it?
Still eating.
Yeah, we still got work to do. We still got
So
work to
this-
do.
Wherever that's come from.
Yeah.
All the nerves are all in it.
Yeah. Now the thing is, guys, these are our bodies. We're supposed to listen to our bodies. And whenever anything in your body aches, my suggestion is you lay down really, really still. You take your awareness into that part of the body. If it helps, put your hands to that part of the body. Take your awareness in there. Sometimes just doing that will be sufficient to start moving the energy. Other times you're going to need to ask, what is this about? What is this about? Right, just have a walk around. He's not finished with you yet, but he wants you to walk around to notice how you're feeling.
It's a lot better than the music bent over.
Yeah. You're actually starting to stand upright, eh?
Back seat used to be.
Yeah, cool. Sit there. We've still got work to do.
Makes me wobbly, you know.
Yeah.
You made it all nice.
7 more minutes, I reckon, for you. They sort of know how long things are going to take, all right? So while I'm working, just to keep the audience entertained through the next 7 minutes, I'm going to tell you the story of how I came to heal. I don't often tell this at the shows, but tonight feels like a good night to tell it. So what happened for me was I left school at 16, and the main reason for that was I was like an A-grade student, and I was expected to stay on for what were then A-levels. But at biology A-level, you had to dissect a mouse. And my brother kept mice as pets. And I'd seen the live mice, and I knew that 36 mice had to be killed in the laboratory for 36 children to each dissect a mouse, and I didn't want a part of that. I considered that if somebody had already done that and it was in a textbook, the textbook was sufficient. It wasn't that I was particularly squeamish, it was that this is just wrong. It's morally wrong to kill mice just for a child to slit open a mouse and see the insides when you're never going to do that ever again this lifetime. That's weird, isn't it? It's weird. So I didn't study A-levels. If I studied A-levels, I'd have probably gone on to follow medicine as a career. But just as well I didn't, eh? So what happened for me was I joined the bank, and at 16 I was sorting the checks one day, and I realised that the manager of the branch was earning £2,000 and I was earning just £200. And I thought, he's not worth 10 of me. So I decided I'd be a bank manager. And so I did my banking exams, and at that time it was very hard to be successful as a female in the bank. I had to pass all my exams to get into what was called the securities department. When I got there, I found nobody else had their exams. It had been a lie, just to slow down my career progression, because I wasn't a man. I wasn't there very long, then they moved me to another branch because somebody was really not happy having a girl in the department. So, long story short, I eventually moved into training. And once I became a bank manager, I was 29, which was a bit of a feat for Lloyd's Bank. Instead of taking a promotion and going up for my second managerial position, a board 2, I went sideways into training because I realised I didn't want to be a bank manager. I'm interested in human development. I like helping people be the best they can be. And of course I got no idea I'd be doing this. So what happened for me at the age of 31, I was on a course at Regent's College in London, and out of the blue on that workshop, I experienced my deceased grandfather with me in my body. It was this big in here. I've never seen that in movies, I've never seen that in books. Sometimes it makes me suspicious of other mediums when they don't experience the spirits in that form, because that's the way I do experience them. My granddad had been with me from the age of 6. Granddad died of lung cancer when I was 6, and my father's parting wish to my grandfather was, please look after Jeanette. I was the firstborn child. So my grandfather, instead of passing through into spirit world, stayed with me. So inside of here was me and Granddad. It's amazing I didn't end up gay. Could have done. And what isn't to say that some people with gender issues these days have more than one spirit in here. That isn't to say, you know, are we aware enough to know? I don't know that we are. It's interesting times we're in. Anyway, long story short, Grandma then came through for Granddad. They stayed in my body for a few hours, and then they both left, and then after that I was able to see spirit world. So in a room probably twice this size, there'd be about 200 spirits, and they were all shouting, and at that point I did get scared. Not because I was seeing anything scary, but because I put my fingers in my ears and I couldn't shut out the noise. And a lady told me to put myself in white light, which I did with her help, and a bit of blue on the top, and that shut out the noise. Apart from one little girl who wanted to communicate with her dad. And then I passed on my first message from Spirit World. Long story short, it's all in the book, but basically what then happened was I started praying like I'd never prayed before, because I was experiencing a reality that other people weren't. Lots of really weird stuff happened, like if I wanted to go down the London Underground, I would get repelled. There was an invisible force field and I couldn't get past. It sounds stupid, but it was my experience of reality. People would pass left and right of me and I wasn't allowed down it. I had to go back, sit in Regent's Park. I was told I was here as a healer and a teacher. Don't forget the ones that can't see. The ones that can't see will still feel the vibration. I was told what's happening on the earth. And a lot of that information I've had to sit on for 25 years until now. And now, as I travel, I'm able to share some of that information. But I tend to drip feed the information, because if I gave you everything I knew all at once, oh, you'd really look at me weird. It's probably enough for tonight to see some amazing healings, and maybe then read a book, and then to see what else I'm up to. So because I've been told I was here as a healer and a teacher, I then put myself on a healing workshop with the National Federation of Spiritual Healers. Highly recommend them. I trained with a chap called Jack Angelo and his lovely wife Jan Angelo. Brilliant teachers, highly recommend them. And as a result of that training, I learned how to meditate, how to sense energy, feel cold, prickles, warmth, the meridian lines and the chakras. About 6 months later, I had a different experience where I was doing healing for a gentleman, and as I put down my hands to heal, a man's voice from out there said, "Right, now we're going to teach you how to really heal." It's those beings that I work with. I work with people at a distance and in person. I've got celebrity clients, sports people clients, as you can well imagine. And I love to help other people to find that they can do this too. Because it beats being a bank manager, and it might beat what you're currently doing for a living. And if you would love to do what you see me do, find out about a workshop. That's the only prerequisite. You don't need to have done any prior training. Just if you would love to be able to heal people, help people get better, the more sincere that need is in your heart to help other people, the better the healer you're going to be. Right, let's get you walking around again, see how you feel. How's that feeling?
It feeling a lot
better,
easier.
a lot easier.
Yeah.
All right.
Still there, like,
You can still feel something in there.
Oh, yes.
Right, so sit there, because there might be a bit more I can do yet. God bless. Cool. All right, so what's happening now is I'm just handing over to Dr. Augusto de Almeida. God bless. God bless. And Dr. Augusto's been in spirit world about 200 years. He was a physician, and back in his day it was sawing off limbs and not a lot of anaesthesia, just a shot of whiskey or rum or whatever. And so in spirit world he's vowed to do what he can to help heal human bodies. We should all be able to stay in these bodies longer, and we should all be able to have a better quality of life. You know, as in no pain, as in no disease. We've just got to learn. And it's, the whole thing is like, if you look at everything that's wrong with the planet, with life on Earth, the answers are actually very, very simple. So if you look at all the things we want to change, and we look at then at what is causing all those factors, it's actually very, very simple, how we can change. A big thing though is getting the chemicals out of the water, out of the food. The entities I work with are not very keen at all on genetic engineering. Avoid genetically engineered foods. You want clean air to breathe. You want an absence of EMF, electromagnetic frequency pollution. That's giving a lot of you headaches, making you lethargic, foggy-headed. Agriculture that should be organic rather than chemical-based. And more community, real community. Right, another walk around, see how that feels.
That pain won't go.
No, still pain there.
It won't go at all.
All right, what we'll do is we'll get another spoonful of that purple powder in here and we'll see if that releases it, because it feels like energetically it's done what it needs to, but we may just need some energy in there.
Yeah, the doctor specialist said it was never go. Just goes to different parts of the body about 3 months. So.
All right, okay, but let go of that. That's a
Yes.
negative thought. That's a negative thought, what they say. Yeah?
Uh,
Yeah, cool. Give her a round of applause.